This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
This is an interesting question that we've never really talked about before. And Mango is the first person I've ever heard make the comparison. He says, is Cesaro this generation's Brad Armstrong? I mean, I get it if you're talking about a great athletic look and one of the smoothest workers around, and maybe in the back, he's the life of the party. I don't know that, but out in front, it just doesn't come through the microphone. But when it comes to the actual bell to bell work, man, he's hard to beat. But for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like the office is behind him. I could see the comparison, but I don't know these guys nearly as well as you. What say you?
Well, I love Brad, and Brad was one of my dearest friends, and I have nothing but respect for his work, for his era, for the time frame when I was wrestling Brad Armstrong. He was as good as there was. I think Cesaro, and I've always thought this ever since I've watched complete matches when he would work with guys and be able to do all of the things that he does, and you see pretty much all of it in a 15 to 20 minute extravaganza. I think he's special, and I think he does things that nobody else can do. He is not a big guy. He has a great physique, but his physique does not supersede the incredible feats of strength that he can do. I mean, he looks like, that guy's in good shape. He looks incredible. But he does some things, some feats of strength that are just no guy his size or a guy twice his size should be able to do. And it's phenomenal to witness and watch. You know, I saw him giant swing the great Khali, for God's sakes. Picture that in your head.
Yeah.
You know, he just does stuff that's just, I saw him standing in the ring on the bottom rope, reach over the ropes. Big E was on the floor and pop E up to the apron and standing superplex, basically, him in from the floor back into the ring. Now, this is Big E. Big E got to be 300 pounds. Just incredible stuff. So to compare him to Brad might not be the right comparison. Cesaro is just one of those guys that he just does some incredible stuff, and it'll go down as just a mystery. Certainly, I'm amazed every time I see him do what he's capable of doing in a match.
One of the best. Jonathan writes in, who's looked 40 the longest? You, JJ Dillon, or John Tenta?
Well, apparently I've got heat with John, God rest his soul, so I'm not going to say anything about John Tenta. And that was something I didn't even know happened. But that's another story for another day. What's my other option?
JJ Dillon or Arn Anderson?
He has not aged a day. Have you seen JJ lately?
He looks the exact same as he did in 1986.
100%. Not one more wrinkle, no baggies under the eyes, nothing. He looks, every time I see him, I get furious with him because he hasn't aged a bit.
Right.
And I love JJ. He's one of my dearest friends. We do stay in touch probably as much or more than anybody in the business.
Late to the Nitro Party writes in, any good Wildfire Tommy Rich stories?
I wasn't around Tommy very much. He was a few years ahead of me in the business. When I first started, got to Atlanta with Matt Bourne and Paul Ellering. Tommy was in a hell of an angle with Buzz Sawyer.
Yep.
They were doing huge business. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And man, they had some cage matches where they literally just about bled to death. And it was my first experience seeing guys work at that level. I had been to Louisiana, saw Ted DiBiase, who was a very accomplished worker, and there were a few other guys that were very, very good hands. Matt Bourne was a good hand, man, they had it down, and they had worked together God knows how many times, and they would have just unbelievable cage match. And I was really, really respectful of Tommy and his work. And, you know, he was over back in the day. You know, he was as over a babyface. This is pre-Hogan and all of those guys. But he was as hot a babyface in Georgia as anybody, I guess, of that era.
Do you have a Tommy Rich impression?
Somebody tell mom and them babies if I don't make it home tonight, I'm somewhere.
That was on command. That was so great.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.